Hi friends, it's me Stephanie, and I sure did miss you. So, what's been going on in your garden? I think you probably want to see what's happening in mine. So, I'm going to take you around. We're on the deck. We're going to see what's going on out here. So, hopefully this won't be too long, but we're going to try to hit everything. Let's go. So, we have a few things growing. We grew toothache plant, and boy, did we grow toothache plant. Our desert rose are looking good. My little succulent's looking good, and so is my gazania. Y'all look at this sunflower. My greenhouse is 7 feet tall, just for reference. And I don't know if you can tell. Hopefully you can see. It's a trillion bees up there working that. Let me see if I can zoom in for you. These bees on the payroll around here. You hear what I'm saying? Payroll. But I sure do appreciate them. So here's my little deck green stalk, because y'all know I had to get tomato color, and she pretty. But my dogs discovered that they like beans, apparently. So they have some bean plants in them, and the dogs keep eating them. So maybe they don't like beans, they just like the plants. So very good with that. But the top, patio baby eggplants and basil, is looking very good. Look at these leaves. This is a patio baby. And as you can see, the baby about to give me some babies. Yeah, so that's exciting. My eucalyptus is growing out of control. And look, more toothache plant. Let's talk about this toothache plant, y'all. I cannot bear to get rid of seedlings. If I grow something, I always overseed. And when I grow it, I have to keep these seedlings. Like, I am just literally compelled to keep the seedlings. So I overseeded my cells. It was my first time growing it. I thought it was beautiful and amazing. And I said, yeah, let's see what comes up. And then it appears they all came up. So I was like, I guess I'm pricking them all out and potting up everything. So I did. And then I realized, hey, I have a gojillion of these. A gojillion 0.7. Gotta do something. And we will see what I did with them as we go along. Let's look. So we still have some coleus back here hanging on from the spring. Oh, look. Toothache plant. And my red hot poker is struggling. My heuchera, she got a little crispy. We're gonna let her go. Well, the heuchera will be back. She'll be back. Look, guys, haven't seen you all in like 3 weeks, and there's the train right on time. Yep. The train, boss. The train. These coleus looking great every day. Bees working it, because these bees on the payroll, honey. I got some lantana that I took cuttings of a plant, let them mature in the house, brought them out, planted them, and look, they're trying to flower. These are the perennial lantana here for us, so they're going to go in the ground very soon, so that they can go ahead and overwinter and come back for me big and bad and bold next year. Oh look, toothache plant. These are, oh wait, I'll tell you all, I grow a ton of perennials and natives. That's why these bees are here on the payroll, because I'm feeding them. They're getting the right money, so they don't mind coming to work. So here we go. This is sea holly, or Orangium. Started these from seed, letting them go. They are native perennials here, so they will be going in the ground very soon, so they can overwinter. Here we have hoary mountain mint. I'm sorry, this is spotted bee balm. This spotted bee balm, hoary mountain mint, and more sea holly. All of these perennials here. Oh, did I buy a 22-inch long pot so that I could fill it with toothache plant? Maybe. what's here. Toothache plant? Yeah, maybe. Also, what do we have here? Patio baby eggplant. Do you see it? She's beautiful. We have more hoary mountain mint and the gazania. She's growing and coming back and putting on more flowers every day. So we let her do her thing. Now, what do we have here? More native perennials. So we have stonecrop, which is the autumn joy sedum. So this is a succulent, and you'll notice her thick fleshy leaves. We don't water her. She get whatever the Lord give her. If it rain, great. If it don't, she's her own water storage. Here, as you see, she's flowering. Another native perennial. Which one is this one? This is cardinal lobelia. So at some point, I guess these flowers going to turn red, but she's a native perennial, and she'll be going to the ground here. So we are going to come back and see how things have changed back here at the nursery. Look, no tables. Yep, moved the tables, dug all this out, added some worm castings and some perlite. Because the tables were here and this was covered up for so long, this clay just broke up. I mean, it was beautiful soil when I came and dug in. The shovel slid right in, and I was very surprised and excited about that. So, have cardinal lobelia, have some Liatris gayfeather, and at the border here, this is our native prairie grass, which is called little blue stem. Got some mullein, some rudbeckia, another cardinal lobelia. She tall, y'all. That is all Liatris. This is lemon balm mandarin. She smells like oranges, y'all. She smells like oranges. We have the Alaska white echinacea, and that's the echinacea paradise blend. Shasta daisies. This is the pink veronica. I grew this from seed, and these are catmint, I think. And then I've got a few of those. That is the well, why I can't think right this minute. Oh, blackberry lilies, which is a native perennial here. 2 heucheras that I've been nursing, and they've been sitting right here doing just fine, getting some afternoon shade and some morning sun, and they're doing fine. So they didn't get smoked like the other one. The other one's on the deck and it gets blasted by light. My strawberry begonia back there, she in rehab. Just leave her alone. And mullein, look at this beauty right here. What is this? I'm pretty sure this is also cardinal lobelia. Nope, that's cardinal lobelia there. This is where's my labels? Okay, it's a native perennial. And there's a bee balm right there. She laying down. She's taking a little nap. Just let her go. Cardinal lobelia. And another stonecrop autumn joy sedum. This is the strawberry green stalk that was on the front porch. Those strawberries did not do well. So I pulled everything out, topped her off, added some more soil so she can get planted in for the fall. Here we've got black-eyed Susans that I started from seed, and more mint. You may all remember. Oh, there's the ginger, and I was throwing all of my discarded plants here. Anything I pulled that I didn't give to the chickens, I was throwing here. Any flowers that had died, I was throwing over here and just letting them decompose. Hi, girls. Say hi, y'all. Hi, girls. Anyway, back to this little pile. So I was like, let me just get a big trash can so I can clean up all my lawn debris, let it decompose in here. So all the stuff that was over here is now in here. I've done away with most of my grow bags, so I'm slowly emptying them out into the Gorilla Cart, which the soil is now full to the top. So those grow bags are getting emptied out. Also, greenhouse is looking slightly sad right now. It is 97. I was just out here, it was 104. So oh, see that? on the floor there, on the bottom there, by the tomatoes. You guessed it, toothache plant. I really grew a lot of them, and then I was like, I can't throw them away. I do something. That's what I did. So I got this really cool shelf here. So this is this is the nursery. This is where everything's going. So I've got some. This is the only yellow echinacea. It's called Echinacea paradoxa, and it is a perennial, and she will come out yellow. So that again is called Echinacea paradoxa. It's yellow coneflower. How cool is that? I've got giant musselburgh leeks here, hoary mountain mint, more blackberry lilies back there, and oh, what's that? Toothache plant? Well, it would be. And then I got Australian brown onions and some chives here. Some of the bulbs that I rescued out the garden. And then more lemon balm. I've got, this is a butterfly milkweed that I started from seed. I started a bunch of seeds. That's the only one that survived. This is my lavender I started from seed. The only one that survived. And this is the evening primrose. I do want to see it flower, but it flowers at night. My yarrow, she's doing great in this pot. I actually came and see, these are your yarrow seeds. If you learn how to collect your own seeds, y'all, let me tell you something. That is a great skill to have. It means you will never not have the plants that you want. You will never not have the plants that you love and that are thriving and doing well in on your land. But if they're doing great here, like I said, if the mama and daddy like it here, kids gonna love it. So, mama like it, we getting them kids, sprinkling them right back in the same pot. Y'all all gonna live in the house together. And then when this gets large enough, or larger, or too large for this pot, what do? Put her in the ground. And here we've got black elephant ears, and they are living in 100% water. They're in a 5-gallon Lowe's bucket in water. I went to a friend's house, and she was like, hey, if you want these, feel free to dig them up. And I was like, girl, yeah. So that was easy. Brought them home, had them sitting in water, and they've been in water ever since. But I want to show y'all this fig tree. Well, first of all, before we get to the figs, they put on a magnanimous display this year, and now they are on the other end of the display. However, once your sunflowers start getting like this and they start bowing their heads to pray, what they're praying for, you didn't know your sunflowers were praying. Let me tell you what they're praying for. They're praying for all the leaf-footed bugs to come over to them. And then that happens because your sunflowers are absolutely fantastic attractant for the leaf-footed bugs. So that's what they're praying for. Dear God of plants, bring me all the leaf-footed bugs. If you hear that song, just know that that is your sunflowers singing a leaf-footed bug hymn. Remember that. So, y'all may recall that we jailed this boysenberry. Yeah, remember when it was getting big and I said, hey y'all, let's put a cage around it, try to contain it. The cage is still under there. Why can't you see it? That's a mystery. Anyway, I mean, we did get a bunch of boysenberries off of it, so I'm complaining that I'm not. Let me back up, because you all may remember last year this fig was about that tall. This year this fig said, I'm doing my thing. So this is the LSU Gold, and this is the Violetta de Bordeaux. She's in a 15-gallon pot, and she's not giving us one single fig. The LSU Gold, however, is covered in figs. They've not ripened yet, but when they do, we're going to have a bumper harvest. Just an amazing crop of figs all at once from this one plant. So I'm very excited about that. As you know, my AU Producer plum and my Santa Rosa plum looking good. Amaranth decided she was going to make a second show. So, and some weeds wanted to jump in on the party. But here's the thing with Amaranth. The flowers are beautiful, but they also make a gajillion 0.9 seeds. And so once you grow Amaranth, unless you cut those flowers off, you're going to have Amaranth forever. But let me show you something. See these little bugs with the stripes? It's all trying to dip out right this minute. Let's see if I can get closer. Yeah, I'm talking about you. These. Yeah, that. Potato beetles. So, while they're on the Amaranth, what they did not get on was my potatoes, which we harvested a ton of potatoes this year, and I'm very excited. But where are we right now? Are we in Greenstockville? We are. Where's everything? Oh no. It's that time of year, y'all. Everything was looking very tired. It was beautiful for the whole season. But it's also time to start pulling stuff out that's tired. If you want to go for a succession, maybe about 3 weeks ago, it would have been a great time. I planted more beans. I pulled everything out. Broke up the soil, amended my soil, planted green beans. Because you know what I said. When something get pulled here, bibbity boppity boop, you're a green bean. And I mean that. So these green beans, because we were in a drought condition for so long, watering was really cumbersome. I mean, it just seems like it's just watering, but it wasn't. Watering this year was something different. It's like I couldn't stay on top of it enough. So, which is what led up to my decision to pull all my grow bags also, because they were drying out so quickly. I just could not keep them. It doesn't matter how much I would water. I would, give them all the water in the world. And then 20 minutes later, the plants were standing up. And then 10 minutes after that, everything was looking very wilty. Now, there is a little secret to that. In the heat of the day, your plants may look wilty, but that's because they are protecting themselves. They close their leaf pores so that, I know you lying. They close their leaf pores so that basically they will breathe when it's not so hot. So they're not respirating and transpiring all of their moisture, because your plants are sweating. They're breathing, and they're sweating, and it's coming right through their leaves. So in the heat of the day, when your plants look wilty, it's because they've closed themselves up to protect themselves. So sometimes when you've watered deeply and your plants still look wilty and it's super hot outside, that is your plants protecting themselves. It's not a reflection on your watering skills. However, I will say, again, watering was a task this year, and which is why y'all haven't seen me in a few weeks, because this garden was stressing me out. I mean, I was still out here taking care of it, but the garden was stressing me out, and I said to myself, this is not supposed to be stressful, so you probably need to step back. I mean, do what you got to do, keep it going, because we garden for the beauty of it, for the joy of it, but also because we harvest our food. So we garden for preservation, to sustain ourselves, and we also take groceries to our neighbors. So gardening for us is more than just coming out here dropping some seeds or starting a few seedlings in the house and trying to see how much fun it's going to be. It is fun, but it's also functional. And once I started feeling like it was all becoming a lot, I would just come out here and do what I had to do and then go back in the house. I never bought my camera outside. I even bought a new camera. And then the drought was taking me out, y'all. And I'm not even going to sit here and try to tell you that the enthusiasm was increasing. It was not. It was decreasing day by day by day. And I'm like, Lord, just move my feet and get me outside. Let me turn on this hose and get to work. I did something I never did before. I ran a sprinkler several times. I ran a sprinkler one time for 3 hours. I had to keep running out here and moving it. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to be stressed out. I don't want to be feeling like this garden is turning into a job. Let me not say that. If this were my job, I'd be totally cool with that. But it's not. I wanted this to be something feel good, something fun, to know that when I come out here, I could relax and let all the worries in the world go. I could leave everything wherever it was, because out here, there's no worries. There's no stress. There's no pain. There's no aches. My bones are fine. Everything feels good out here. But it wasn't turning that way. It was turning into, oh my God, every month my water bill is like $700. Because, and I don't mean a little bit left over from the month before. Because when you get a hefty water bill, you don't have a place to leave something from the month before. I mean, the current bill was back to back to back, something enormous. And I'm like, anyway, let me stop whining. Back to these green stalks though. So, oh, UPS guy, yay. All right, oh, this is where we planted some stuff in the front. We had to dig up some stuff, and for some reason, this wheelbarrow is not my friend. It has no drainage, so this stuff should have died. Instead, these weeds was like, yeah, we live here too. No. Anyway, so we pulled out, like I said, mostly everything. Y'all, these African marigolds. I had to cut them back. Ooh, mosquito. Had to cut them back and then just let them kind of die back in here, because I literally could not get them out of here without having to rip this whole green stalk apart. Now I know that this is compacted at this point, so I know I'm gonna have to take this white tier off and pull these out for real, because the root system on these were just, I mean, they in here strong, like struff. Look at this. African marigolds. African marigolds. African marigolds. They got big too. They were like 2 feet tall. Some of them 3 feet tall. Some of my perennials, my blanket flower, I went ahead and cut her back, and she's growing back, so she ain't dead. She was looking tired, so I cut her back to give her some refreshment. What else? Shasta Daisy, cut her back to give her some refreshment. And as you see, she's coming back. Snapdragon, cut her back. I'm going to remove the perennials from the green stalks. While they are beautiful in here, I'm sorry, let me turn you around. These are beautiful in the green stalks. However, the root systems on your perennials are just more than the green stalk is made for. The green stalk is made for growing your annuals. Perennials are beautiful in there for a season, especially if you're starting them out. You get your perennials established, getting them going. However, 2 seasons in the green stalk is not cool for your perennials. The root system that they need to establish to make them and keep them as perennial is just enormous. And green stalk is just, I feel like, not made for that. But I want to show y'all something though. Okay, so if you are working on increasing and making the situation fantastic for your pollinators, there's some things you have to do. There's some things you got to sacrifice, some space you got to give up. You are not going to be able to have your pollinators live here and you live here unless there's some give and take. So what I want to show you, first of all, I want to show you the mama butterfly. I want to show you her because she's been here all day. Come on, get back, girl. Oh, she dipped. Cameron ran out here earlier to get some pictures. She'll be back over here in a minute. Here she comes. Girl, come on. There she is. Y'all see the mama? Hello, mama. And I call her mama because of this. And when I say it's got to be some give and take, this is the parsley from last year. If you want your pollinators, your butterflies, your bees, this is the basil. We let it go to flower so the bees have something. We have flowers all over the place. These are zinnias. But this is what we did. We let this parsley go to flower, let it bolt on purpose so that we could have this. There are caterpillars all in here. Hopefully y'all can see them all over. Now, did we have that nasty old hornworm? Yeah, we did. But the hornworm also turns into a beautiful moth, which is your moths are your nighttime pollinators. So your moths are your nighttime pollinators. So you need them too, because the job is never done. Your bees and everything else working hard in the morning, but you know, most of your pollinators don't fly at night. So yeah, I did get rid of some hornworms. I ain't even gonna lie, I did. I fed them to the chickens. We kept the circle of life going. But y'all, we in the garden now, so let's see what we got. We got some beans over here next to some strawberries. Oh, why is it so zoomy? I am pulling these strawberries out. I have another bed to go right here that I got from Vajiga. That's a 2x4 bed. This is a ginormous grow bag. I know you probably can't tell, but this is one big grow bag. It's a rectangle. So I'm just gonna pull everything out, reclaim this soil, and pour it back into the raised bed when I put it over here. Something a little bit more formal. This is, I don't like, this is so big and I don't like the softness of it that is falling over. And guys, this is, these were cone flowers. I'm sorry, these were Black Eyed Susans. They are the caramel Black Eyed Susans, so they were that color. And then I've let them go to seed. If you're familiar with Black Eyed Susans, that whole cone at the top is like straight up seeds. As you see my bees working them, this is like straight up seeds, y'all. And this is why I say you have to learn how to collect your seeds. So what do? I collect my seeds. Here we go. Y'all, this is a field of seeds here. And I sprinkle them around. Wherever I think I want to see Black Eyed Susans. Black Eyed Susans are beautiful. And these caramel ones are also perennial. And so they have a different look. And then my Gomphrena, she's still holding on. And she's also going to seed, which I'm going to allow her to do. And drop these seeds right here. So when I put the hard raised bed here, I'll have flowers growing around it. That I really had to do nothing for that to happen. And that's the beauty of your perennials, and that's the beauty of learning how to collect your seeds. All these things are connected, y'all. But anyway, we're supposed to be in the garden, but I had to show y'all this butterfly, my baby mama, and her babies. So I decided I would try to grow in the ground over here, because you know we got chip drop year before last, and even though you see things pushing through now, having those wood chips here breaking down, returning back to my soil, actually made my soil very fertile over here and very nice. And I was able to, the shovel slid right in. So I was like, well, you know what I'm gonna plant right up here on this fence line is a cucumber and a Kajari melon. And y'all, things is happening. We have Kajari melons growing right here on the fence line. Where's the more? There's a few of them up here. I can never find them. Look, another one there. So you got there, and there's one a little lower down. This is a cucumber, the white muncher cucumber. I just picked off some today. So yeah, and you know I don't grow nothing in the ground, at least not out here. But now the wood chips have made my soil fertile, broke up some of that clay. So thanks, wood chips. Over here is tomatoes. I didn't prune them like I should have, but I'm also getting a steady harvest. They did slow down when the drought was in full swing, and then they picked right back up. So let me back up a little so you can see. This bed is 10 feet long, where the tomatoes are 2 feet wide, and this post that Mr. Big Daddy built is 10 feet tall. So we grow our tomatoes up a string, We grow them vertically, and as you can see how tall they are, this is 10 feet. So also, y'all, you need to encourage your hummingbirds. So we put this arch up here. This plant is called the cardinal climber, and if you see, it's tubular flowers, which actually match perfectly to the beak of your hummingbirds. Can you see that? Really pretty. And then let's again discuss collecting your own seeds. So you see, some of these have gone to seed. Let me find one that's really crunchy. I collected some seeds a few days ago and gave them to my friend. Because this is only 2 plants. It's one here and it's one there. And these 2 plants climb right up there, all the way over here, and growing into my black-eyed peas. But y'all, look, black-eyed peas, black-eyed peas. We just gotta let them dry. Once they get dried and crispy, once they get a little more dry than this, then we crack them open and preserve them. And we can have some to save for next year to regrow. Okay, so this is the cardinal climber. See this? Let me just get one of these little buds off. This is what I'm talking about saving your own seeds. Let me see if I can do this with one hand. I cannot. Hold on. Lord, I didn't drop that. Hold on. Let me get another one. These bees so loud over here. It's wild. Let me get another seed pod for you. Want it look nice and crispy. Okay, here we go. Here go one. So let's see if you can see. This is one of the seed pods from the cardinal climber. And what we're gonna do? Look at that. The black are your seeds. We pour them right back where we want them to grow next year. And then I have a bunch in the house that I saved. So there you go. So we had torrential rains last night, and my Tithonia fell over. That's my Mexican sunflower. So she was very, very tall. As you can see, she broke right there in the middle, and this part has fallen over. So I didn't come and cut it back yet. I'm just kind of enjoying it. The bees are still over there. She's still alive. She's just leaning over hardcore, so I'm gonna have to cut it because that's not gonna be a great situation. And over here, y'all, I'm growing the scarlet runner bean. Not so much for the beans, but for the flowers to draw in more pollinators. And the scarlet runner bean, as you know, runner bean should give away that it is a vining bean. And I've got this on the other side of this. I literally planted like 3 beans at the base of this. So here are lima beans and black-eyed peas. So lima beans are growing. I have to wait for them to dry. And then the scarlet runner beans are here, and they're going up this. And if you notice, they are now meeting the cardinal climber next to my hummingbird feeder. Can we be majestic for a moment? That's why I said, y'all, the garden is supposed to be your place of peace. Huh? Beans. And if it starts stressing you out, sometimes you gotta take a step back. Oh, I'm all it. Was y'all looking at my nose? Are y'all literally being nosy? I'm corny. I know. I know. You don't have to tell me. Please don't leave it in my comments that, oh my God, Stephanie, you're corny. I already know. So, like I said, this is what I'm saying. Sometimes this is what this is about, y'all. Coming out here, seeing these birds working these bees and these butterflies out here working your plants. They're getting their part of the nature that you provided. I'm all in this. They're getting their part thanks to you, and you're getting your part thanks to them. And this symbiotic relationship that you've created for yourself and these bees is a thing of wonder and beauty. And if it starts stressing you out, you got to step back. Because I was ready to come out here and pull all this stuff out, and I was like, but why? Get yourself together. Take a break. Take a breath. Turn on the sprinkler and go back in the house. And hope them sunflowers out there praying for more than just leaf-footed bugs. Hope they're out here praying for rain. So what we got over here? Y'all, these eggplants have been doing their thing. Let me see if I can see some. Oh, I can't see them from this side. I can show you from the other side. Okra. Yeah, we pick okra every day. These are the two we didn't pick yesterday, and they're longer than my hand. Again, if we don't pick them when they are 1 inch long, tomorrow they'll be 5 inches long. And that is no joke. Okra. This is every day. Look. When I say longer than my hand, I mean it. Oh, can y'all see that? Every day. So I'll be back out to get that. I didn't bring my snips with me. I wanted to just walk through and talk to y'all. Y'all, these tomatoes doing their thing. Oh, I'm in the shadow. Oh, I'm creating a shadow. Tomatoes, tomatoes, tomatoes everywhere. This is the Chadwick cherry, and she did not disappoint. Amish paste. More Amish paste. I've got some orange accordion, some Kellogg's breakfast, some blush tiger, and spoon tomatoes. Never grow spoon tomatoes again. When they mature, they are like this big, and it is cumbersome to try to harvest them because you're gonna have a trillion of them all at once, and they're all gonna be this big. So if that's what you're looking for, you know, congratulations, you'll get it. That's not what I'm looking for. I wanted some big whoppers. Supposed to be making sauce this year. I'm out here trying to do my canning thing. That was just in the way. So what we got over here? Like I said, she put no. So where was I? So like I said, the eggplant is doing her thing over there. But remember, this bed was empty because we were saving it and amending it, keeping it nice and healthy and well in anticipation of planting sweet potatoes. So these are all sweet potatoes. Yeah. Basil. I cut the flowers off, harvest them for my daughter, and then they grow right back for the bees because it's warm out here. So this is a 7-gallon grow bag, sweet potatoes. This is a 20-gallon grow bag. Let's smooth these tomatoes out of the way. And that's sweet potatoes in that grow bag. And all that down is sweet potatoes. And all this is sweet potatoes. Except for that, that's lamb's quarter. Now this wouldn't be a Stephanie video without the train with it. Oh, I'm still here. Just wait for the train to stop screaming. Because, you know, it's a soundtrack. No way I could talk to you guys without the train making a special appearance. I mean, geez. What was I thinking? Not me trying to show you my tomatoes and stuff. Which, by the way, again, Chadwick cherry tomatoes. Yeah, that shadow is me, sorry. Amish paste, Kellogg's breakfast, orange accordion, pink blush, spoon tomatoes. Like, it's going crazy over here. We pick so many tomatoes every day. I know I told y'all this before, but we don't let our tomatoes ripen on the vine. That's a lie. You don't need ripened tomatoes. You need them to start blushing, bring them in the house, put them near each other, and they will put off enough ethylene gas to ripen each other. Let's talk about these flowers right quick. Zinnias. This is the Benaries. This is the Oklahoma orange, Oklahoma orange, and then in there is the Keys orange, African marigold. Yeah, big, right? More snapdragon, more gomphrena. This gomphrena is looking way better than the other one. This one's getting a little bit more shade. The other one in the front is just the white ones that I showed you. They get blasted by the sun all day. And these flowers love heat, but sometimes it's too much, okay? Plus we were getting drought, so the stuff over here, because it gets some shade, it wasn't drying out quite as fast. See that? I literally have to say excuse me to these flowers. Look, let me go around here and show y'all why I cannot. I have to say excuse me. Have they closed in? Yeah. This is the pathway to get over there. I have to pick the flowers up and move them to the side. So we got all snapdragons here. I collected a bunch of snapdragon seeds, but snapdragons are perennials here. So what do? We take off a little seed pod. See, they're getting all crispy like this. And the seeds are very tiny. We just sprinkle them right back where we want more snapdragons. They're gonna drop their own seeds, but you know, where I want snapdragons to be, I sprinkle seeds too, just to ensure that I get the results that I want. But this side of the cattle panel is all beans. It's purple potted pole beans, Kentucky wonder pole beans, rattlesnake beans, Curzer's Traveler Calico Lima beans, and Asian yard-long beans. And that's all you're seeing on this side of the cattle panel. And then over here, they're meeting up with the melons and the cucumbers. So cucumbers down there. You've got cantaloupe in the middle, watermelon down here, cucumbers, and these tiny little vines you're seeing is cucamelon, or Mexican gherkin, or mouse melon. They're called various things in various places. Just know that it's happening. And then, like I said, over here on this side, we have a big oregano plant at the end. These are the dahlia zinnias. So they're not dahlias, they're just zinnias that with that very big fluffy head on them. More snapdragons, and there is a cantaloupe in there. Let's see if I can show you. Where's she at? Cantaloupe, there she is. See right there? Oh, not my finger. See it with the webbing? Cantaloupe. Oh yes. And I get excited, I get English. And then finally, there is our second succession of corn over there. And this is the, what's it called? It's the one that's through. I think it's the Seminole XR, the super sweet one. So I was like, let me just try this out. But we didn't do 2 beds of it. We did 2 beds of corn on our first succession, our first grow this year, which we got a ton of corn. And so after we pulled all the corn stalks out, we re-amended our bed. I'm getting out of here, y'all. We re-amended our bed and only decided we were going to plant 75. So that's what you see over there is the 75 we planted for our second succession of corn. Also, let me show y'all something. I was like, let me try these fall tomatoes everybody's talking about. These are 2 early girl tomatoes. Yeah, I know they're in a way different spot. They're over here by the peppers in a way different spot than the other tomatoes. But they are doing fantastic. This is 2 early girl tomatoes in a 10-gallon grow bag. Look at them, they're beautiful. They're putting on tomatoes. So we'll get a harvest long before the weather changes. I'm absolutely thrilled about that. So I just wanted to show you all what we had going on. Oh, strawberries before I go. Y'all, these strawberries been disrespectful this year. So, but let me tell you about the strawberries. You may recall that when spring came, it was getting warm and we were getting strawberries left and right? They were June bearing, and so you know with your June bearing strawberries, you get an initial flush of strawberries, and then they slow down, and then you got nothing, and then like the back end of June, they start coming back. No, that's not what happened. The back end of June, I got 3 strawberries, and then this happened, and I'm pretty sure this is due to the drought. So what's going to happen is that this is more than likely, I think I'm going to end up pulling these strawberries out and maybe thinning them and replanting them, because look, that's sad. Again, the drought really took us out. And finally, I do want to show you this. These tomatoes been putting on. I'm not even going to sit here and pretend like the orange hat and the Micro-Tom tomatoes weren't doing their thing. But they look horrendous. The plants themselves are absolutely terrible looking. With their little rust and all that. The rosemary and them shallots up there doing great. Dusty Miller, that's my boy. He doing great. these tomatoes, I mean, they're doing great. They're putting out like you wouldn't believe, but they look awful. We got quite a harvest, which we've been bringing in, saving, and we let some of them get dry enough to go to seed. Excuse me, y'all. Let me just tell you that one of these calyxes, when you open them up and you collect the seeds out, one calyx gives you enough seeds for a field of roselle. So don't make the mistake of not harvesting your stuff in time, because if these drop their seeds, you're going, and if you want roselle for the rest of your life all over the place, let them drop. If you don't, if you want to control where you're growing stuff in your garden, like most of us do, don't let them go to seed, or let them go to seed and collect them before they drop. Oh, yeah. So anyway, that is all I want to tell y'all today. I know it's been a while. Also, y'all, pro tip: your sweet potatoes will root at the nodes. You see that? If you let these vines onto the ground, everywhere they touch in the ground, they will root. And guess what you're going to have? Sweet potatoes growing from everywhere that you didn't want them. I'm not growing my sweet potatoes in the ground, so I don't want these rooting onto the ground. So what do I keep doing? I keep picking them up and just putting them around the cattle panel. I mean, sorry, not the cattle panel, but my my little fence in here. Now you can cut the vines, okay? From what I understand, the leaves on your sweet potatoes taste absolutely amazing. I don't know from experience. If you know, tell me about it in the comments on how to cook them or what you do with yours. But I don't want them growing in the ground. I don't want to have sweet potatoes over here, because you know what's going to happen is you're going to miss one. They're going to start rooting into the ground, and then you'll be like, okay, well, that happened. Let me go dig them up. And you're going to miss one. And that's going to be the one that's going to put down roots and keep coming back over and over and over again every year in a place that you don't want them. So if you are looking for, if you're a control freak, or you just want to do the stuff the way you want to do it, I mean, that doesn't make you a control freak. That makes you in control, not out of control. Oh my goodness. Okay. So, like I said, don't let them vines sprawl across your ground, because they will root everywhere they touch the ground. So anyway, y'all, like I said, that was it. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Show this to a friend who wants to grow something. If you want to know more about collecting your own seeds, let me know. We'll go more in depth into that. And I forgot to actually show you all the grow room and what we're growing for the fall this year, and the level of germination I got, because it is impressive. So what am I doing? Why am I doing this right now? Why am I rinsing off these seed trays right now? Why? I don't know. Anyway, like, share, subscribe. Send this video to a friend who wants to grow some stuff, don't know where to start, don't know how to start. And let's be friends, guys. So leave me a comment if you have any questions or concerns, or if you are doing something similar to this and you have some ways that are better than what I'm doing, some tips and tricks and pointers for me. I'm always looking for different ways or better ways to do what I'm doing. So I'll see you guys in a few days, and I'll pull out my seed packets and show you what I'm growing, and show you my seedlings upstairs in the grow room. So anyway, holla y'all. Have a good day. I'll see you next time. Bye.